again. They want the truth. They want the truth. They can't handle the truth. It's welcome to another episode of With Enough Prep Time. I'm your host, the Nerd Man, and today we are going to be discussing the greatest action heroes of the 90s, 80s, 90s, and 00s. 80s and 90s, of course, was a very special time for action movies. And I grew up on a lot of those kind of movies from those days, and I'm a big lover of that specific genre of movies. So I'm here today with AMBW, and some might be a little bit surprised as to why I'm doing this stream. It was actually AMBW's idea. He wanted to do it, and I just said, yeah, I'll rank some action heroes with you, I don't get to speak to AMBW a lot. And when he comes on, it's oftentimes quite a packed stream. So I wanted to keep this pretty focused on me, him, maybe one other guest or two other guests, so that I can really get his opinions on stuff. So how are you doing today, AM?
Just busy, just working. Doing the same things. All that stuff. Yeah, just hustling.
Hustling. He's a hustler. Cool. So, are you ready to rank these guys?
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah. Let me just check something quickly before I go on. Uh, let's you could talk about your well. Let's not give your favorite action movie. Let's save that for a bit later. But I was gonna say maybe you can talk about like what your how you came into liking action movies, or what your relationship was like growing up with action movies.
Yeah. So like I grew up like I'm in my mid 30s now, so I don't feel like it, but I grew up with like movies from the 80s and 90s. When I was a kid, like even before I was a teenager, I saw movies like Die Hard, Predator, Terminator 2, Rambo, Rocky, Under Siege, all this stuff. Like I saw movies, all these movies, R-rated movies like blood, gore, TNA, everything like that, sex, violence, all that stuff. Before I was a teenager, so
Yeah,
these are the movies that I grew up with.
me too, man. Did your parents just let you watch anything?
Uh, I mean, my mom at first tried like covering my eyes for most of it, but eventually she just gave up. So I just I mean, you're gonna learn all these things eventually anyway. So
Yeah,
yeah.
no, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, like to me, I just grew up like honestly, um, just being allowed to watch pretty much anything. Like, and I used to stay up all the. I guess it was like I was quite good at school when I was in like my younger kind of like especially like when I was before I was like full teenager basically and turned into a little bit of a rebel. I was pretty advanced in school, so they didn't really care what what I did. um and so I ended up watching horror movies and action movies, and I used to love the 80s teen like coming of age movies. I used to stay up like and there's a channel in the UK called Channel 4, and it always used to have all the great like on the edge kind of like edgy kind of cinema and films like in the evening. So I had a pretty, I think, sophisticated taste, in movies from a very young age, and I watch kids' movies as well. It wasn't like I didn't watch kids' stuff as well, but um,
Mhm.
I like that all of that stuff. But at the same time, I had a special place in my heart for like those kind of horror
Give me a
action
second.
and
Headphones are
and
coming on.
specifically,
Can't hear you
you
guys
know,
yet.
oh, you
What up,
can't hear?
AMBW nerd man?
What's going
I can't even
down?
hear you guys.
K dots. Can you not hear us?
I can hear K dots.
Yeah, I can hear K dots as well.
All right, I can hear you guys now.
Cool. My son has arrived, and what's going down? What's happening with you, man? Are you all good?
I'm all good. I'm all good, guys. I'm all good. Just came by, show some
Yeah.
love real quick before I have to go
Yeah.
to work in a couple hours. But I'm here.
Yeah. Oh, this is going to be a 2 hour stream. In fact, we have to start like getting this going soon. But we were just talking about really. Mr. Chen wants to join. Sure.
Who's that?
Oh, we could find out. Mr.
Well,
Chen.
I would
All
say
right.
this. I don't think Mr. Chan is Asian.
You know,
It better not
Nah,
be
yeah,
should we,
bro.
should
If
we,
he's
should we
actually the
have
Asian dude named Mr. Chan, no.
should we just see like
I
a,
mean,
a
it's up to you. It's
little
your show,
surprise? All right. Well, this is for Mr. Chen. Okay. Let's see who this is.
dude.
Out of curiosity.
Watch me like some
But
like white
I
dude.
was just saying, I was saying like my relationship with these kind of 80s movies is they're really really dear to my heart. Like the 80s for me is one of the greatest eras of cinema, just for how much like crazy shit they could put on screen. Like, you know, like you'd have a concept like a boy becomes a werewolf and leads the basketball team to, you know, victory, like his high school basketball team to victory, and you're just like, you can't make that movie now. You couldn't make that movie in the 70s. You know what I mean?
No,
You,
you can make it today, but it'll be super freaking like garbage because of the
yeah,
new
exactly.
because of the new generate. Not it's a generational thing, right? It's like with I'll give an example with Tom Holland Spider Man.
Yeah.
The reason I don't really like Tom Holland Spider Man because he talks like the kids of today. The reason I associate more with Toby and Andrew is like because I liked more of the early 2000s compared to now. And
Hmm.
when they are portrayed, they're portrayed around people around that generation, that time, that talk a certain way, they do a certain thing. But you
Hmm.
know, if you do Teen Wolf today, it's gonna be some freaking Twilight stuff. It'll be just like
Right.
Twilight, nerd man. It'll be Twilight. It won't be
And
Teen
they
Wolf in the
don't,
80s. It'll be Twilight.
yeah, and they don't have the actors with that. I don't know, like Michael J. Fox just had that like natural charisma. Like Arnie, you know, certain other people have this natural charisma. And I guess maybe because Hollywood is too you know, and even going back to like 50s, 40s stars and stuff like that. I think because Hollywood has become way too like what's the word? You know, when the
Honestly, Nerman,
like
I think it's just a time. I think like Michael J. Fox, he's once in a lifetime. With
no, he's once
him,
in a lifetime. But I'm just saying, like, also, I think that there's two. What is the word I'm looking for? It's when you only get a certain place of power and you give positions of power to like your family or something like that, or like people that you know, like
Nepotism.
nepotism. Thank you. Sorry, I was just like blanked out for a second. So yeah, like I think there's just so much nepotism like at the moment in Hollywood that you don't find the Marlon Brandos, you don't find the you know, James Deans or the you know, Michael J. Foxes, because those guys I think came from not the streets necessarily, but you know, they came from the real world. And they and that's why they had this kind of charisma that
that's
connected with
yeah.
people.
That's why I
Whereas
say
like
it's a generation thing. It's like based off these like the actors that popped up in the decade with the 80s and stuff. We're not going to get them again because even the actors that came out after in the 90s, right? They're not this. They was not as they're not as they're not the same as the actors from the 80s. Like it was a whole different type of way they was living and stuff. It's based on the way they lived, the way they talked and stuff. Because like I say, if you put out Teen Wolf today It will not. It will be Twilight.
Yeah, because it will star some
It'll be
British
a
kid
yeah.
who went to bloody Eton for private schooling,
What, you mean
right?
like
And
Tom
now he's
Holland?
Yeah.
playing. Yeah, now he's playing an American guy. You know, they've even said it, didn't they? They wanted a Tom Holland for a Back to the Future reboot. It's like, no,
Yeah, and I think too
no,
they be casting
like,
people that aren't like of the cultures too that they cast. Because I'm not saying the British people don't have culture. I'm not saying that. But like when you cast Henry Cavill, let's say David Ayer came to Henry Cavill and said, "Hey Henry, I want you to play this hood white guy." Do you think Henry Cavill could pull off a hood white guy, like a hood white guy?
no, no, no. I don't think he could.
Nah, he couldn't pull that
Sure.
off because I know he didn't grow up in those streets. He grew up in fucking. He's British. I'm not saying
Yeah.
he grew up all lavish and rich, but like he didn't grow up in the fucking streets. I'm not saying you need to grow up in the streets,
Well, hey man,
but
look at what Colin Farrell's doing with the Penguin. Although he is a little bit, I think, from the streets kind of. He's like Irish, like
but
I
see,
don't
but
think I
that
don't think he
that's
grew up like
a,
he's not like an
yeah.
Eton boy. Like Eton's basically, if you don't know, it's like where Prince William and all of the royal family go
Equivalent
essentially.
of
Like it's
Juilliard.
a private school. Well, it's not, no, because that's like performance art. This one's like
Oh, I
for all that kind of thing. And basically, a number of the actors, I believe Tom Holland probably went there. Definitely, who's Doctor Strange guy? What's his name?
Benedict
Yeah,
Cumberbatch.
Cumberbatch.
Benedict Cumberbatch went there. Fucking Henry Cavill went there. A bunch of the British actors
They all
who
went to
you
the same
see
place, and now they
now.
dominate our movies.
Yeah, exactly. They all went to this school, so they all come from that kind of background.
That's why
Um,
that's why with these like look, yes, it's a downside that we can't get actors like Michael J. Fox and stuff up today, but like each decade is gonna have its plus. Like for now, we couldn't get superhero movies that we get today back then. They have the technology, the ambition like that, and people wasn't really taking them serious now. But now that people take them more serious and we're getting a boatload of this
we
content
get
and
the
stuff,
worst ones
now
ever. Yeah.
in this decade, like MCU. Well, now in this decade, when you get all these superheroes and stuff, movies and stuff, you couldn't get that back in the 80s or the 90s. They have technology. They probably wouldn't have, they probably wouldn't have
Because they
took it as
didn't have the
serious as they do
spectacle.
nowadays. Because
Eh,
there's a lot. I'm not saying they're perfect, but there's a lot more ambition nowadays with getting these superhero movies to come to life compared to back in the day. Like
I
But just nowadays, you have the special effects to be able to pull
Yeah.
them off. But
That's it.
like
That's
V
all
for
that makes them
Vendetta,
better.
V for Vendetta didn't have much special
Well,
effects. It was all story.
well, no,
Yeah.
all right. We'll look at it like this. Last decade, the early 2000s, we wasn't getting as much superhero movies as we get nowadays. Like we're getting a superhero movie every single year. Now, whether that's a good thing or bad thing, it wasn't
Yeah,
like
but there's
that
a
back in the
reason
90s
why,
and
though.
80s and
There's a
stuff.
reason why. There's a reason why we're getting so many superhero movies. Because the MCU established that they're profitable.
Yeah. And
That's the only reason. Not because
Right.
they said, "Hey, we're going to start doing superhero movies. See how that works." It's like,
But
no.
they're invested into it. Not like people back. I'm not saying people back then was not invested into doing them, but they didn't take them as serious. And I'm not saying they were bad, but they wasn't taking it serious and it was not as ambitious to really flesh anything out. Like think about it like this. Warner Brothers was sitting. Well, think about it like this. Warner Brothers was sitting on the Justice League for so many fucking years, and they waited until
Yeah.
after the Avengers come out with something to finally put out a Justice League movie. They could
Yeah.
have
Because it
gave
was
us a
worth
Justice
it.
League year. They could have gave us better than that.
Well,
back
they
in the 80s,
were
the
they were
90s,
planning
2000s.
they were planning
planning
to,
on
but
it,
like, but
but they
I'm
scrapped
glad
it.
I'm glad they didn't. To be
You had
fair,
the Justice
look
League
at
TV
how
movie.
Now I'm talking about live
see
action, not the
Warner Brothers'
animated.
attitude. Warner Brothers' attitude is kind of weak.
No,
As soon as they
it
fail
was live
once with a
action.
character, as soon as they fail once with a character or IP, especially if that character hasn't been successful before, they just give up. Even Batman,
I only say that for the superhero
even
stuff.
fucking Batman.
I'll
What?
say that for the superhero stuff, nerd man.
Definitely
superhero
for the
division.
superhero stuff.
Yeah, super
Whatever it
division.
is at Warner Brothers, they don't get superheroes. They don't see it, and it's bizarre to me because they have the best fucking superheroes of all time in that. What do you mean?
Wait,
Apart
wait.
from the X-Men,
wait.
Marvel has shit on fuck X-Men and
Marvel
Spider-Man.
has Daredevil.
X-Men and Spider-Man.
Hulk is
Daredevil.
such a generic character. Daredevil has gone through like
No,
what?
no, Hulk, Daredevil. I'll give you Daredevil, Hulk, Daredevil. Then you've got the X-Men.
Punisher, the X-Men, the Avengers, Captain America, Iron Man. Oh, yeah, these are such bottom feeding type superheroes.
I didn't say they're bottom feeding. I'm just saying Superman, Batman,
Mhm.
Wonder Woman, fucking Flash, Green Lantern. They've all
DC
got
has
better individual mythologies than those guys. They do.
Oh
They've
yeah,
got more in depth kind
Chemical
of like.
in a chemical lab hit by a lightning bolt. What a much better what a sophisticated
Dude,
origin.
that is not just
That is the Flash's
That
origin.
is not-
He was in a lab with a bunch of
Yes,
chemicals. A
that's
lightning
true.
bolt hits,
Bolt
and
hits,
Wally
and
West
blah,
gets
blah,
the
blah.
Flash.
But in the end of the day, what I'm saying is they've still got like things like their own city. They've got their own supporting casts that
Well,
are
yeah,
like
because
much more fleshed out. They've
No,
got
no, no.
their cities that are fleshed out. They've got
Because
better
they-
villains. They've got
They got
all of
better
those
villains.
things.
What are you talking about? They got
Flash
just
has
as many-
better villains than
Yeah,
fucking Hulk.
Captain Cold and the
Flash has-
prankster. The prankster is such a grade A villain.
No, the Flash
Gorilla
has got better
Grodd.
than Hulk.
Gorilla
look,
Grodd, no. Gorilla Grodd in the beginning was a 60s cheesy ass villain.
Look, I'm not going to let you derail this, Jaden. I'm not going to let you derail this.
Nerman, I got a
I'm
better
not an
example.
MCU fanboy. I didn't even mention Silver Surfer and Galactus. So you're even lucky I didn't even mention that.
All right. Good for you. You win. Marvel has equal characters.
Thank you.
AMBW. After I want to get to your kind of thing before we go on to like the action stars. And also, Jaded, you should mention like just your thoughts on like action stars of today. But what do you make of the action stars of today, AMBW, just as a general?
There really aren't a whole lot of action stars per se. Like I would say because there's action movies. You know what I mean? Like we live in the era of CGI and superhero movies nowadays. You know what I mean? Like it's action movies like when I think action movies, all those guys like they're well past their prime, dude. Like they're all in like direct to DVD. Nobody's watching them. Nobody's casting them. They're not getting work. It's basically extinct. So.
Yeah. So you just don't think there are really it's like, I mean, obviously Tom Cruise comes from a different era, but he became an action star really in the 2000s. If anything, with the Mission Impossible franchise. I've never really seen Tom Cruise as an action star personally. I see him as a movie star, like, you know, in general. I mean, he does so many great performances outside of the action, and then he does his action thing, which I don't think he's the best actor when it comes to his action stuff necessarily. But then you get all of that stuff where he's doing all the stunts by himself. So it's kind of like that kind of makes up for perhaps not doing the great. I mean, he's not doing his greatest work, put it that way. Like Tom Cruise is an amazing actor when he wants to be. And he doesn't do his greatest work in the action movies. But, you know, outside of that, I mean, I guess the new action stars are the superhero. I mean, is Robert Downey Jr. an action star?
It's the superheroes. The superheroes are the new action movies.
Yep.
Fast and Furious, Transformers,
And
if they
trash.
get back to consistently doing it.
Because before the superhero movies, they were really struggling to try and do action movies.
Yeah.
I can honestly say this. That
The closest, the best we got was
The
the
Rock.
guy. Oh, I can't believe I forgot the name of the movie. The John Wick. John Wick was the closest we got to the best action movie in the last.
Wick is,
right?
yeah. Casino
Yeah,
franchise.
Keanu
And,
Reeves has
and
become
that to
a
me was
big
more of
time
a
action.
fluke than planned because we haven't had anything as close as we haven't had anything as close to John Wick in the last 5-6 years.
I
Yeah,
think
I
you
mean,
want to. I think it's this. Like, they're trying to take. They did with Rambo 5 and recently with the Equalizer movies with Denzel. Like, they're trying to bring back the older action stars and stuff. And granted, I like them and stuff, but like these dudes are too. I'm not saying Denzel's an action star either, but they try to take these old stars, put them in these action movies and
Are
stuff
you
nowadays, and
are
like
you
they,
dissing the Expendables? Are you dissing the Expendables? Is that what I'm hearing?
eh,
Are you dissing the
that
Expendables?
that first one was good for its time,
Yeah, the
but
first one.
it came out a good time because there were so action movies in the early 2000s and stuff like that. It was coming out consistently, but nowadays Rambo 5 came out. They're literally bringing back old ass Sylvester Stallone to do a fucking movie. Like, dude, throw it up. You're done. Get out of here. This is my thing. We need new fresh blood. And we're only going to get that if we give these new actors time to get there. But I would say this, that superhero movies, in my opinion, just like Norman said, have taken over the action genre because they're technically action movies. They're also comic book movies, but they're still action movies. Like most of the comic books we read, it's action-oriented stuff. It's all action. Superheroes
but
trying to punch
that's
and
the
fight.
thing that I don't like
They took
about the.
over.
That's the thing I don't like. Like for instance, people were criticizing the lack of action in Shazam, but I don't think Shazam is necessarily an action comic. I mean, like it has elements of action in it. It has fights
Yeah,
in it. But if I were to put like
it's not as
the
flashy as the
Shazam
other action
origin.
movies. It's
No,
not as
no, no,
flashy
no,
as the
no.
other
But
action movies.
no, I'm talking about the comic. I'm talking about the original comic. If I was to put Shazam into a genre of movies, I wouldn't say action is the thing that comes into mind. Like if you read his graphic novels, some of his comics, I'd say it's more like kid adventure or
Fantasy.
yeah, well, not even fantasy, just more like the Goonies. Like a Shazam movie should have been more like the
An action
Goonies, if anything.
adventure.
Yeah, like an action adventure with kids, kind of kid friendly action adventure. And I just
Wait,
think
if
they're
that's
so
the case,
they're
I can see
so
the problem with that.
they're so because, and it's one of the problems I've had with Marvel, and I don't mind it, but it does bother me a little bit because it's taught people to think that all comic books and graphic novels are action stories, and I don't think they are. I think some of the best ones that I've
I'm
read
not
of the
gonna say.
superheroes, of the main superheroes, could be actually put in completely different genres. You could have a Batman pure detective movie. For instance, like pure like um
So that's
Investigate.
what
noir
that's that. Yeah,
detective
that's what the
kind of stuff.
upcoming that's what the upcoming movie is going to be.
Not really.
No,
It's
It's
going
no,
to
still
have
got
no,
like
action
lots
and
of
no,
action.
it's not. No,
it's
it's
going to
not.
have it's going to be more detective stuff.
Sure, sure it is. Sure.
It is. That's what it was basically being marketed as.
Not the second trailer. Second trailer was
This
marketed as all the action that everybody wanted.
first trailer was about the story. Second trailer was about showing how badass this Batman could be.
So it's going to have just
Clear
as
what
much
it was.
action.
Yeah, it's still going to be majority detective stuff.
Yeah.
But it's going to also be
You
action
want to
packed too.
lay odds? You want to lay odds?
Yeah.
No, Jaded. The director has said several times in many interviews that this is going to be the most detective Batman oriented story yet.
Okay, so there's going to be 10 minutes of it, and it would still be the
No.
most detective.
Dude,
No, I'm gonna say this. This movie will have less action than it does detective stuff. Look, yes, they showed some action that second trailer that popped, but I'll be honest with you, that shit could be a fucking trick. They can make it seem like it's gonna be so action packed. Man,
Because that's what people
there's gonna
want.
be more talking
Yep.
and dialogue in film, kind of like the Nolan films, and not that much action.
Right.
That's how it's gonna be.
But that's fine for me. I think like you should have a little bit of action. It's a superhero after all.
Yeah,
like,
you gotta have some action too.
You got to have some, like some superhero fights and stuff. But what I'm saying is they don't have to like translate directly into like, oh, it's got to be like a fucking action movie. Like every
Yeah.
superhero thing has to be like, straight up action. I don't mean like, and for me, Superman is more like a big sci-fi operatic epic. Like when you see like some great
Yeah, if you
Superman
go off
stories.
70, if you go off 78, it's not really an action movie. So,
Yeah, but
Right,
sci-fi,
exactly.
not
sci-fi
all
movie.
superhero movies are action packed. I mean, you'll have like 3 or 4 action set scenes, but that's about
Set
it.
pieces.
Set
No, I
pieces.
think I think they have turned them into like mainly kind of action movies. Like that's the main
Well,
kind of
let
like
me ask a
part of it.
question. Would you guys
Uh,
say Shang-Chi? Would you guys say Shang-Chi is a more action? Would be more
It
of an
only had
action
like
film?
3 or 4 set action sets.
That movie's not that many like fight scenes in it.
You had the
Well,
one on
no.
the bus.
Well,
You
yeah,
had the one at
yeah.
the
You have the
club.
beginning fight with Wenwu attacking the guards, the mother
Mm,
fighting those people and they beat her
It
up.
wasn't really an action scene, I guess.
That was an action scene. It was
I guess.
combat and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
It was the more dumb because that movie was focusing on the spectacle over the story. I like the story, but Shang-Chi was trying to be about the spectacle more than the story. Let's really be honest. They're trying to focus on the action part of it, the action, all that stuff. They focus more on that in the movie. I liked it, but I know what they was focusing on more. Would you guys say Thor Ragnarok comedy action movie to me? Comedy action movie. But it's more of a comedy to me than an action movie. Nerdman, you're muted.
Nerdman, wouldn't it be the
Sorry,
good, the badasses, and the ugly?
The good, the bad, and the ugly.
The good, not too good.
Oh right, yeah, they're good. Sorry, but yeah, no. I was gonna say we've got to move on to this ranking, but in general, what I'm saying is just there's more to comic books and graphic novels than just like fucking
Yeah,
pure
but they're
like
not going to make
action.
a mouse. They're not going to make. They're not going to adapt a mouse graphic novel. That's for sure.
Well, they could do. I mean, like I'm sure that would make a really good animated movie. But anyway, it's not going to make billions of dollars if that's what you mean. But like, yeah, like there's stuff out there that I think is kind of,
it just won't get looked at because it is action stuff. Action appeals more than certain other genres. So,
all right, so let's get on to this ranking because I've got to, skedaddle in like a while for work. So we're ranking the action stars. And we've got the rankings: trash, bad, mediocre, overrated,
mediocre.
And we've got the good, the bad asses, and the ugly ass mofos, and then we've got the man gods. So we're gonna start with Jean-Claude Van Damme. And I know this guy gets a lot of hate these days. Or not hate. I mean, he's just not seen as like that great. But like actually for the time, I really enjoyed his fucking movies. I mean, I still can stick on, a couple of them, Double Impact. I think there should be a good ranking here.
Yeah.
I mean, when he was first in his when he first started his career, he was good. But nowadays, I've seen his movies of today, and they suck.
Jean-Claude Van Damme, the JKVD, that movie was pretty good.
No, all right, look.
Nerdman, I recently watched a movie he dropped in 2019. He's a great action star. He's great with action stuff in these action films. When he tried to kind of be in sort of a drama movie, he's a bad actor when it comes to that stuff. But when his movies first came out, it was great.
Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna like say what I have to say, and we're gonna go around, right? And then we can like have little discussions in between. But like, I'm just gonna put it this way: I can see why people have a problem with him, and I think especially after Street Fighter, he really fell off. I mean, Street Fighter wasn't that great either. Really badly conceived movie. But there were a couple out of movies, AWOL, his Double Impact, certain other movies where he was a charismatic lead as an action star. And I know he gets a lot of, a lot of people don't like him these days or whatever. I think most of his movies are trash. They're probably right. They are a lot of B movies, but for an action star, I thought he was fucking great back in the day. I like him. I think he's actually a little bit underrated these days. So I'm going to put him in the good, the bad asses, and the ugly ass mofos, which is kind of like the great section. So we could go on to AMBW. This is also a correction for that fucking abomination, which was philosophical pickles list. But anyway,
Yeah,
I knew that disclaimer was coming sometime.
I would keep Van Damme here because he's like, currently obviously he's stuck in direct to DVD hell, but like one of his, his best
It's
movie is
true.
probably his best movie is what, Hard to Kill, which is like 1993 or 2 or something like that. That is one of the best action movies. That's directed by John fucking Woo, okay, who like has made some of the greatest action movies of all time. Like that. As far as that, that's his like best contribution to the action genre. That's like top 5 action genres.
and he
And
had charisma,
yeah,
right? He had charisma. He had screen charisma. He had presence.
yeah. So
Yeah,
I mean, oh yeah, well yeah. Like I said, it's he can act. I mean, Van Damme can actually act. I think like Jaded or someone said like, yeah, JCVD is one of his better movies too. It's just the fact that he is a washed up action star, and then even when you
Yeah.
don't think of him like that, nobody's gonna hire him because that's all they see him as, even though he can actually act. So yeah, I kind of feel sorry for the guy, really.
All right, K Dots.
I'll keep him where you put him at. Look, my favorite movie from him is Lionheart. That's my favorite. That's my favorite movie by Jean-Claude Van Damme, Lionheart. And like he was good for his time. And it was him being in the best physical shape he can be. He was very action oriented. And he just gave his little, subpar acting and stuff. I'm not saying he was completely bad, but he was only good for a certain type of genre. But now that he's older, he can't do what he used to do back in the day. So now he's limited to what AMBW said, DVD movies and stuff. So, and even in those, like he tries his best to do these dramas and stuff and act, but he was great for his time. For his time, he was great. And based off that, I can keep him where he's at because that's when his best move. That's where his best.
I always go off when the person was at their best. I don't like look at their whole, because if they did good for like a period of time, then they're good with me. Jaded.
Yeah, I'd say mediocre, but because of JBCD, he's good.
Okay, so
he was like he could act. Like I think there was only the one action scene in that entire movie, and the rest of it was just him acting and being himself, and it was that elevated him to good.
Apparently, according to Film Elitist, Jean-Claude Van Damme beats Jackie Chan and Jet Li in a fight.
Yeah, sure. Maybe now.
Maybe.
Well, actually, possibly. Yeah, now, yeah.
Not at their prime.
I don't know. Isn't Jackie Chan supposed to be? He's supposed to be a pretty fucking good
dude. Jackie Chan can still move, man. Have you seen his?
Yeah, but not like he could. Not like he could.
Jackie Chan can still move, man. He still got it. He still got it. I'm surprised he did a recent movie where he was a police officer and stuff.
Oh,
and
nice.
he was doing some wild stunts that he shouldn't be doing at his age, and he was doing it. But
all right, I'm gonna skip some of these guys because some of them aren't, really like on my
action stars.
Yeah, like Mark Wahlberg, dude.
Well, anyway, look, when I get to them, I'll do it. But all right, going on to Timothy Dalton, one of the most underrated James Bonds of all time. I really fucking love Timothy Dalton's James Bond. He, was Daniel Craig before Daniel Craig was. there's not much James Bond that I like. I think most of the franchise is pretty fucking trash. But he actually had some excellent, like, excellent couple of movies, particularly License to Kill, where he was amazing in, and he did a realistic take on Bond way before, and he had charisma to spare. And yeah, he just did a fantastic job. I really like him. He's one of my favorite Bonds. He's in my top two. You'll find out who my second highest Bond is. But is he an action star necessarily? I don't know. But for his Bond portrayal, I'm going to put him in the good, the badasses, and the ugly ass mofos. But behind Jean-Claude Van Damme. Next.
I mean, he doesn't belong on this list. Like, I'm sorry. Like, if only contributions are the Bond movies, like they're actually pretty good movies. Like as Bond movies, they're probably like in like top tier. But like that's not, he only has 2 Bond movies, and Bond doesn't really qualify as like straight up action. Like you can't compare like The Living Daylights to like Kickboxer. Like it's just not, or Predator. Like you can't do it. Like, so trash. I put him in trash.
Oh shit. Not even I don't know. Like, come on, man, trash.
Favorites nerd, man. That's all. That's the only reason he's on this list.
Yeah, I know, but like, come on, bro. You can't put him in trash. He's not actually trash in the 2 action movies that he did. He's not trash, is he?
Yeah, but Nerman, like
crazy.
Like I said, he only has 2 action movies. What's his other contribution? The Beautician and the Beast. Like that's not
The Beautician and the Beast.
Is that an action movie?
Wait a second. He was in The Rocketeer as the villain.
He was in The Rocketeer.
Yeah, but he wasn't the villain. He didn't do anything.
Yeah, but that's still an action movie, and that's one of the greatest superhero movies of all time.
No, it's not.
You're doing the same thing with the Halloween list, man. You're doing the same thing with the Halloween list. Dude,
sleep on The Rocketeer, man. That's a good movie.
No, man, you're doing the same thing that you did on Halloween. Half of those movies weren't even fucking scary movies, dude. Eraserhead.
Look, I'm not gonna let you just put fucking all the James Bond guys in trash, bro. Because
list.
I'm British. I'm standing up for the fucking British right now.
Okay,
that's outrageous.
Well, then David Beckham is more of an action star than this guy, Timothy Dalton. White girls are more action stars than this guy. Like, what? What is this?
All right. Wait, look, you want to seriously put fucking Timothy Dalton in trash? Okay, yeah, I'll do it. Fine. That's fucking bullshit, dude. So that pulls him down. You could have put Timothy Dalton in overrated. That's just it's a sin against fucking cinema and nature. All right.
Shaquille O'Neal's been in more action movies than this guy.
All right, whatever. Yeah, but they're fucking trash, though. That's the difference. He made 2 fucking great ones. That's the difference. All right, and 3 if you count The Rocketeer. I'm sure Timothy Dalton's been in more action movies than that as well. Anyway, going on to next one. K-Dots.
I'll keep him in mediocre. This dude was in Hot Fuzz, who is trash. Look, he really only has 2 action movies. I mean, you got to do a little bit more. Wait
a second. So Timothy Dalton is in The Last Action Hero. He's in Hot Fuzz. He's in License to Kill.
But he doesn't do anything as an action. He doesn't do any action.
Wait, who is he in fucking... He's in Flash Gordon.
Yeah, but he doesn't do anything. You might as well take the Jackie Chan movies and that female lead that's in all of his movies. You might as well put her in it because she's been in all these action movies.
He was James Bond, dude. I don't know what else to say. All right, fine. So you're putting him in mediocre.
I'm putting him because look, Jean-Claude Van Damme did more action movies than him.
Yeah. Yeah, but
Not saying he's better
more
as
isn't
an
always
actor,
better.
but he did
I
more.
think Jean-Claude Van Damme is better. That's why I put him behind Jean-Claude Van Damme. But like, you could
Oh
at
yeah, but
least you could say he for James Bond he was good. I mean, that's crazy. All right, fine. You're putting him in mediocre.
I just think if we're doing action star, they have to do a little bit more action
All right,
related stuff to be action stars. In my opinion, that's just how I'm voting.
all right.
Like
You're putting him in
they're
mediocre.
yeah, I'll put
Yeah,
him in
go
mediocre.
on.
He ain't bad. I'll keep him mediocre.
All right. So, Jaded then?
bad.
You
Not an
motherfucker.
action star. Come on.
Yeah,
You might
but
as well
then
put
just say
Pepper,
don't
you might as
know.
well put Pepper Potts and Happy on this list because
Look.
they've been in so many action
No,
movies.
they weren't fucking a main fucking. They didn't have a main
Neither was
action
he.
IP.
Neither was he.
Matt Damon's an action star, isn't he?
Matt Damon's an
Nah,
action star, my ass.
I mean, he's the Jason.
So would are you gonna put Matt Damon in trash for the Bourne
Yeah,
movie?
I would put that because he did what? The Bourne movies. That's
Okay,
it. 3 movies.
So how about this? Just say
I put
don't.
Jason Bourne above.
Just say, look. Let's just add another thing that he's not.
Okay,
I'll
look.
put not an action star at the bottom because you can't put. You can't
There
just say
you
he's
go.
trash.
Not an
Okay,
action
then that
star is that I'll agree
Yeah,
with.
okay, yes.
He's not a trash. He's not a trash actor. He's not trash movies. It's just that he's not an action star. That's all.
Okay, cool. So are we putting him in not an action star?
Yeah.
I would definitely put him not an action star.
All right, fine. I'll accept that. But I can't live with him being in fucking trash. That's bullshit.
Yeah, he's below trash. He's below trash.
I wouldn't say he's trash, but he ain't no action star.
Shut your mouth, bro. Anyway, all right.
Chow Yun Fat.
All right.
Chow Yun Fat.
No,
Chow Yun. Oh, we've got who is this guy again though?
David Carradine. Oh, Kill Bill.
Kill Bill. Yeah.
Wait, who?
Is he even
David
I don't know.
Carradine, Kung Fu, the series.
Yeah, he was literally in a series called Kung Fu.
Yeah.
Oh, where he
didn't do much.
basically
He didn't do as much as we would have liked. But
yeah, where basically he fucking stole Bruce Lee. He's going in trash just for that. He stole Bruce Lee's fucking role.
yeah.
Fuck him.
All right, yeah, fuck him.
Yeah,
Okay,
so-
trash. I vote trash.
Yeah, fucking bullshit. Like taking that job, man. So everyone's saying trash for him. Okay. This guy. What's his name? This one.
Oh, the guy from the raid.
This
John
is the guy
Favreau.
from the raid.
Oh.
I honestly
He was
Sub-Zero.
He was Sub-Zero. He was in the Raid. He was in Fast and
Yeah.
Furious 6, Mortal Kombat. The Night Comes for Us.
Honestly, I haven't actually seen
don't
this
recognize
guy
him.
because I haven't seen the raid. All I've seen him in is Mortal Kombat. I need to watch the raid. I really need to watch the raid.
I can
Mad
rank him.
Dog was a better action star than he was.
Honestly, I'll put him up there in scroll up, Nerdman, to the hops. I'll put him up there in good. He's good.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't have a lot, but he does majority action movie. He's just, he's still building up his roster and stuff. He's still young.
Okay. Well,
good to me.
I don't know him, so I'm gonna leave this up to you guys who've seen him.
I like him in the Raid, the Mortal Kombat, and he's also in a thing in that show called The Warriors, if I'm not mistaken. He was in Fast 6. He was tight in Fast 6.
Yeah, he's
I'll put him
he's
up there.
good. I put it good.
Yeah, he's good. He's still building up his resume. He's so young. He's still building himself up.
So we've got good. All right. Jaded?
Oh yeah, good.
All right. Cool. All right. Liam Neeson. Now, I don't give a fuck what anyone says.
Thank you.
I'm putting
I
this
agree.
motherfucker
Oh,
right
not
up
an action
there.
star? You mean not an action?
No, I'm putting him right up there for the Taken movies.
Oh,
I like all of the Taken movies. I don't give a shit what anyone says. I thought they were all fucking fun. And I just love the way someone takes his shit and he goes and hunts them down till they die. That's what I love about this guy. That's what all of his movies are. He fights gangsters. He fights wolves. he fights, the Nazis as well at certain point,
Except,
which isn't an action movie. But nonetheless, Liam Neeson is a fucking god. Plus, he has Ra's al Ghul. Ra's al Ghul is one of my favorite fucking villains. Like performances from the Batman series, Batman Begins. All day, he was fucking sick.
I did like his
I
racial
love him.
goal.
I love him. I fucking love him. He's going in the good, the bad asses, and the ugly ass mofos for me.
I can
And
put him up there because he did do. I mean, he at least did more action movies than the guy who's not a movie star. Fucking
Timothy Dalton.
Well, let's go
Yeah.
AMBW first, and then.
He's overrated because he's more like his acting career got started like when he was 60. When he was 60 when he did Taken. Like all those movies, dude, Nerdman, all those roles that you listed, what's his name? Aslan from the Lion movies, and then what's it?
Don't
Ra's al
forget
Ghul?
Phantom AMBW. Don't forget Phantom Menace. He was
I
in
know.
Phantom Menace.
But that's the thing. All those
Yeah, he was in Phantom Menace as well, and he was good in that.
Yeah, but those aren't action movie roles. Like they're not
That
straight
was
up
an
action.
movie.
action
You don't take Predator and compare it to
Star
But Star Wars
Wars.
is action film.
action
There's sci-fi,
fantasy.
action, fantasy.
They're action, fantasy, sci-fi, I would say.
I don't. I'm sorry. I don't consider him an action star.
Yeah.
Like I like the guy. I like his work.
then-
Like if there's a new movie out, I'll go see it. But he's not an action star.
Okay, so not an action star. That's where you're putting him.
Oh,
All right,
yeah.
fine. Okay, so if he gets a few more not an action stars, then I'll just put him in not an action star because he's a great actor. I mean, the guy's a fantastic fucking actor.
great actor.
Not
an action
star. So Jaded, you're saying not an action star as well?
Not an action star.
Okay.
I mean, just him climbing a fence takes 12 cuts because you can't climb a fence. So you literally see it. Well, I forget what movie it was, but he's climbing a fence and it's literally 12 cuts from 12 different angles. I go, you're just climbing a fence for Christ's sakes. That's how much of an action star he is.
Yeah, I know, but like, Taken is a good fucking movie, dude.
I'm
And
not
that
saying
wolf one,
he's a great
the one with the
actor.
wolves.
He's a great
Come on, bro.
actor. He's not an action star.
Yeah, but he has that presence, that menace when he was
And
doing
he's
the Taken
and
series.
he has great presence. And he's a great actor. He's not an action star.
Okay, fair enough. K-Dots?
I'll put him in. I keep in the good, the badasses, and the ugly mofos. I can.
Oh my God, you are so your father's son. I swear to God.
Because look, he did Star Wars, he did do the Gray, he got the Taken movies, and yes, he did 2 other action movies. That one on the train and the one on the.
You are so bad.
Those are action films.
Movies.
You guys, you guys.
You can't even say
We're
they're
talking
action
about
movies
Oscar Schindler
with a
here, bro.
straight
No,
face.
but they are
Oscar
action
Schindler.
movies though. They're just not his best action movies, but they're more action movies than whatever the people who's not an action star category did.
All right, let me ask because I don't think he.
Well, no,
should
and
be
if that's the
taken-
case, Nerman,
he
I'll
shouldn't
put
be
him in.
taken
Nerman, he's
down.
in good. He's in good. For me, he's good.
Okay, but
He's
he
not-
shouldn't
he's
be
not-
taken down for being not an action star from our ranking. So what I'm going to do is, if people want to vote in the comments where Liam Neeson should be, then I'll leave it up to them. Is it not an action star, or is he in good, or is he in the good, the bad, and the badasses and the ugly ass mofos? All right, so we'll leave Liam Neeson for now. So next one, I don't know this guy enough. I don't watch the Fast and Furious movies. I think they're bullshit, the ones I have watched. So Paul Walker, I'm just gonna say not an action star.
Paul Walker's not an action star. What is he doing on this list?
Yeah.
Man.
Wait. We gotta.
I didn't make the list
because
Wait.
most of the films I seen him in was action based. Let me try and remember which ones.
Oh no! God damn, dude.
He did the remake of The Raid. That's it.
Okay. Here. All right. So let me list off his action films because he's in a lot. He was in all the Fast and Furious movies up until 7. He was in Brick Mansions, which is an action film. Takers, which is also an action film.
Yeah.
Some of his other movies like dramas and comedies and stuff. He's been in enough action movies. I'll say that much.
But is he an action star though? Is he the star? Is he the like? I don't know. Look, dude.
But here's my thing.
I haven't even seen him act. To be fair, I'm not even. I'm staying out of this one.
His best roles is his action roles. I mean, I'll say he's mediocre. He's mediocre.
In the Raid remake, he doesn't even fight.
In Brick Mansions, no, he does fight.
He doesn't.
He's mediocre though.
Oh man,
he fights in all the Fast and Furious movies. Brick Mansions.
Where does he fight?
All right, look. How do we put Paul Walker? I don't want to spend.
Even in Tankers, he's a bank robber.
Dude,
he's a mediocre action star. He's mediocre.
He's mediocre. Yeah.
Dude, if he's an action star, you might as well count Fran Drescher as an action star then. It's ridiculous.
Right. Okay. So AMBW, you're saying not an action star. I'm saying from what I know of him being in the Fast and Furious movies, not an action star. Jaded, what do you say?
He's not an action star.
Okay, good. Let's move past that motherfucker. All right.
He's barely a driver.
To Mr. Sylvester Stallone himself.
All the way to the top.
And I'm going to come up with my first hot take. He's trash.
What the fuck?
He is.
The guy that literally defines the genre.
I don't care.
As an action star.
I do not fucking care. Bargain Basement. He was trash. Arnold Schwarzenegger to me. He was what do you call it? Like bargain chip fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold Schwarzenegger made good action movies. He made the bad ones.
Rocky was not a good movie.
Trash. Rocky was overrated trash. Everyone knows no fucking Italian is gonna beat that many black boxers in a row. We all fucking know that.
He lost. Apollo beat him in part 1.
It ain't happening. It's a fucking white man fantasy. I'm not interested in that movie.
I don't think so.
And then second.
Ridiculous.
I can see Rocky Marciano beat up a couple of black guys. Okay, I can easily see Rocky.
Yeah, a couple.
Okay.
Dude, you would put T. Dalton ahead of Stallone? Oh my god, dude, what the fuck? Just
I mean, look.
You want to validate Pickles' list?
Look. We've got Rocky and we've got Rambo. Rambo sucks. I don't give a shit what anyone says. I do not like those Rambo movies.
The first movie,
I think they're trash.
I think
the best, and I'll tell you what. I don't even think Stallone is bad in general. I think he's bad as an action star. I've actually seen him in a couple of comedies where he's actually pretty fucking good. Where he uses that shtick of going blah, 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 and it's actually pretty funny. So I don't hate Sylvester Stallone in general. I also think he's, talented, obviously as somewhat of a writer because he wrote the Rocky movie, right?
Yeah, so trash.
It was trash. I do think it's quite
Where's
overrated.
Mike? Where's Mike?
No, it's quite overrated.
I am not taking over from Mike. Mike can deal with him on his own. I'm done.
It's quite overrated.
You were taking one of the two people that literally defined and established the action genre and saying he's trash.
Mike,
he is trash. Where's his Terminator? Where's his Terminator? Where is his fucking what's that Mars one that Arnold Schwarzenegger did? Where's his Total Recall? Where's his Predator? He's trash, bro. He has no fucking. He's got Rambo and he's got Rocky, and the rest of them are like B movies. And even when he does like when he does okay ones like Demolition Man or Tango and Cash.
Okay, out of curiosity.
Wait,
You like
let me
K-Dot.
finish. Let me fucking finish. When he does all right ones like Tango and Cash, fucking Demolition Man,
Yeah.
that was all about the other actor. I was
Yeah.
in that
Tango
movie
and Cash
for the
ain't that
other
good.
actor. Tango and Cash
You
ain't that
had
good.
K-Dot.
But
You had K-Dot
the good thing
struggling.
about it is
You had K-Dot struggling to try and justify, okay, the guy from the Taken movie, Liam Neeson. You had K-Dot literally struggling to try to establish Liam Neeson
No.
as an action star,
I wasn't
and you were
struggling.
taking
Those last
everything
two.
that he's established as an action star and minimized it. You're out of your mind. You're out of your
I'm
mind.
not out of my mind. I'm not out of my mind.
Your
All right,
You
go on.
would
Tell
have
me
put
what
Timothy
is it?
Dalton.
Tell me his
You would have
great
put Timothy
movies.
Dalton as an action
me-
star
Tell
more
me his
than
great movies.
Sylvester
Tell me his
Stallone.
great movies out of Rambo and fucking the Rocky. Tell me
Doesn't
his great
matter
movies.
if they're good. They're action
It doesn't
movies.
matter if they're good. I'd
Why?
rather watch some of. I'm being straight up. This is straight up factual. I'd rather watch some of Jean-Claude Van Damme's like action movies than Sylvester Stallone's
That's
ones.
personal
outside of
choice.
Rocky.
That's fine. That's personal choice.
No, he's a fucking mediocre. He made mediocre action movies.
He made
They
mediocre
weren't
action.
that good. They were. Arnold Schwarzenegger was making quality movies you could show anyone,
Arnold
and they'd
Schwarzenegger
be
was
like,
making
"Oh
quality
shit,
movies.
that's a good movie. That's
Twins,
a good
and the
movie.
one that we was pregnant.
Twins is a good movie."
No,
Make
hang on.
quality movies.
Hang on.
Right
I'll
here,
list top
you
five
are.
right now: Rocky, Rambo, Cliffhanger, Daylight, Copland, Rhinestone, Over the Top, Cobra.
You're gonna tell me he's not an action
Rambo.
star?
Rambo.
What genre is his movies then?
All of those ones you said aren't like. What did you say? Cobra.
Cobra.
He is an action star to me, right?
If he then what? Okay, then Nerdman. What genre of movies does he make? If he's not an action star, what genre of movies does he make?
So just because you're in action movies, you should
Yes!
go
Yes!
just
That
because
is
you're
the
in loads of
point
action
of it!
movies.
That's
No, you have to make good ones.
No,
You have
you
to make
don't!
good ones.
No, you don't!
Yeah, you do.
Oh my god.
You have to make good action movies. I'm sorry, otherwise it's just look.
Alright, just what? It's just what?
Look, I'm gonna go for
Oh my God! I know what Mike has to go. Now I know how Mike.
somebody
Jesus.
somebody pull up fucking Sylvester Stallone's filmography.
Yeah,
Oscar,
do it. No, hang on.
there's
AMBW just did.
Jackie Chan has better movies than him. Arnold Schwarzenegger has better movies than him.
Yeah,
Fucking go down the list of these stars. Timothy Dalton's
Timothy Dalton has two movies, and you're calling him a better
two James
action
Bond
star.
movies are better than fucking most of Sylvester Stallone's movies.
You're out of your mind.
Demolition Man is good mainly because of fucking the other guy. What's
Wesley
his name?
Snipes.
Wesley Snipes. It's good because of Wesley Snipes. That's why that movie's watchable.
Wesley Snipes was the better part of that movie. I'll be honest.
Exactly. Tango and Cash. Kurt Russell's the better part of that movie. What the fuck do you like?
Kurt Russell was. He was.
Let's not.
But they're still action movies.
Yeah. Jaded is right. He was still in a bunch of action movies. That's why I say, look, as an action actor, then yeah, that's different. But he still was in a lot of action movies. See, look, because I think even Paul Walker's action star too, because he was in a bunch of action movies.
I'm putting Paul Walker in God tier. By that logic, I'm putting
No. He's not.
It has to be the quality of the action movies as well.
No. Paul Walker's not God tier.
In that case, put Leonard Nimoy. Because he's been in all the Star Wars. He's been in so many Star Trek movies, and I'll make a bullshit explanation on how Star Trek is something like an action movie.
Mike, where the fuck are you, man? Do you hear this
Leonard Nimoy.
Mike.
Leonard Nimoy as a god tier action star.
God damn it.
Look,
Mike,
in any case, look, you've got to vote. This is my vote. He's trash. I don't like his action movies. I think they are not as good as Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's not even close. I mean, the fact that they're seen as like the yin and yang is bullshit to me. Arnold Schwarzenegger wipes the floor with him. Wipes the absolute floor with him.
Copland, that was a good movie. Copland, thank you, Super One.
Copland isn't an action movie.
Oh
What did
my
I say? Copland is not an action movie. And what did I say?
He was in Expendables, was an amazing action movie.
He was in a gangster movie called gangster comedy called Oscar.
Yeah,
oh my god, what?
I really liked him in that movie. In that
god.
gangster comedy that he was in, Sylvester Stallone.
Hey, I need a drink.
His favorite movies from an action star are all his non-action based movies.
Because his action movies are fucking trash. Rambo is not great. Rambo doesn't. It's rewatchability value.
You mean the one where he was nominated for a bunch of Academy Awards? That one. That's the one that's trash.
What, Rocky? Rocky's overrated shit, man. I'm
sorry. Hell no. Hell no.
That first one was overrated, and then after that,
I'll get hot takes today.
They literally put his name on the map.
I don't give a shit. You know why it put his name on the map? Because Eddie Murphy's white. Eddie Murphy is fucking right about this. A bunch of Italian guys.
To Rocky. He went from a porn movie.
Jaded. Go and look at the demographics who watch Rocky. A bunch of Italian guys went to watch Rocky because they could live their fucking fantasy in their mind that fucking Italian boxers are as good as black ones. It's fucking bullshit. It was a fantasy movie. It was more a fantasy movie than Lord of the Rings. That's how fantasy fucking Rocky movie is.
He lost in that film. The whole point of Rocky 2 was that it was a rematch.
He didn't lose. He fucking he brought basically who's the guy in Rumble from the Jungle?
Wait, somebody in the chat, look it up. He lost, right?
No, in the first movie it was a tie.
It was a draw.
In the first movie it was a draw.
Yeah, it's a draw.
The second movie, it was a fucking it was a victory. It's fucking bullshit. Rocky is a fantasy movie for fucking Italians. I'm telling you,
because a white guy beat a black guy in a boxing match.
I'm not talking about white guys. I'm talking about Italian guys. Italian guys.
Why can't an Italian guy beat a black guy in a boxing match?
I didn't say they can't. I'm just saying.
You did. You did the fantasy.
I'm saying in general, Rocky wouldn't have won those fights. Rocky would not have won those fights.
Nerdman, wait, hang on. I have a question for you. Do you think Predator is more realistic?
Italian skin.
Huh?
Wait, so Nerdman, by your logic, Predator is more realistic than what's his name, Rocky?
Rocky.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
Oh my god! What the fuck?
Realistic. You're out of your mind. You're out of your mind.
Oh.
Forget saying hot takes. It's called Nerdman takes now. Because there's hot takes and then there's Nerdman takes.
Ridiculous.
Predator is more realistic than Rocky because an Italian man beat a black guy in a boxing match.
Right, let's move on.
Okay, so AMBW, where are you putting Sylvester Stallone?
I already told you God tier at the top, the very top.
Fuck you guys, man. You're not getting him in God tier. I'm gonna veto this shit.
No, you're not, because he is man God. Get out of your mind.
I'm gonna veto this shit. All right, go on, son. Do me proud, man. Tell these motherfuckers what's up.
Where is he?
Oh, he's not there.
Someone disputed me. I gotta keep him up there because of the amount of action films he did. Now, look.
Shut up, man.
No,
is he a good action star? Is he good? Is his movie good? Do you watch them? Do you watch them like you watch other fucking action stars movies?
I've seen every one.
Let me be honest.
Matrix. Have you watched any Sylvester Stallone movie as much as you watch Matrix?
No.
Or fucking or
No,
Terminator
let me be honest.
or
Let me be
any
honest.
of the classics.
The only
Shit.
the only Sylvester Stallone movie I rewatch is Demolition Man. That's the most rewatched.
And why do you watch that movie?
Because it's a good action movie.
It was a
Who
good
do you
movie.
watch it for?
He was good, but Wesley Snipes was much better. Hear me
Oh,
out.
okay, and you watch it for Wesley Snipes.
No,
okay,
I don't he's good in the movie. He's good in it. I like how his character acts and stuff. Wesley
Anyway,
Snipes is the better part of the
I'm gonna let
movie.
you go on.
But I don't really watch a lot of Sylvester Stallone stuff, but I have to give him respect that he is one of the pioneers of the genre. He got to go up there. He's a pioneer at least. Even if you don't think he's personally good, he is a pioneer. So you have to keep him up there as a pioneer. I mean, he deserves to be up there more than he deserved to be up there more than Liam Neeson. But mind you, I also think Paul Walker is an action star too. So y'all may not take my opinion serious, but still, with the amount of films he did, he's an action star. I would say Paul Walker is more of an action star than he is anything else too, because with the amount of films he did and where he was popular at, he's popular for.
Okay. So we're putting Paul Walker in God tier.
He's not God tier. He's a mediocre action star, but he's
because he did action movies. He's a pioneer of the 2000 action movies, isn't he?
Sylvester Stallone is a bigger pioneer of the franchise.
You think Fast and the Furious pioneered anything?
Yeah,
Fast and Furious didn't pioneer anything.
They're one of the most. I mean, one of those popular movies today. Most popular.
Yeah, but they didn't pioneer anything.
Basement fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm gonna say it over and over and over again.
You're wrong. No matter how many
got it like Arnie. He ain't got it like Arnie. All right, so you've got him in Man God now. Fucking hell.
No, keep him where he's at.
Oh, keep him where he's at. All right.
Yeah, he's
and then Jaded.
Man God, come on.
Fuck you, man. You know that still makes him last in the Man God section. It'll still be last.
Reality's a bitch, nerd, man, and I hate to break it to you, but that's just how it is.
Fucking guys, man. All right, I'm gonna leave it at that because we spoke quite a lot, like in between. Anyway, who's this? Is this the guy from Terminator 1?
I don't know. Who's that? I can't see his face.
I think his name. I think it's the guy from Terminator 1. He's not an action star.
T-1000.
John Kreese.
No, the guy who saves. He's the guy who saves her.
Kyle Reese.
Yeah, he's the. Oh.
Yeah, he's just.
He was in Aliens.
Yeah.
I don't know what
Was he? He was in Aliens as well.
He was in Aliens. He was the.
He's not an action star. Can we all say he's not a fucking action star?
I wouldn't call him an action star.
All right, cool.
He's about as much of an action star as Timothy Dalton.
Let's go on to this motherfucker right here. Another overrated.
Oh God, here we go.
Another overrated piece of shit. All right, I'm gonna put this guy not in bad or mediocre, but simply overrated.
Overrated. One of the biggest movie stars in the modern era.
110% overrated, not only as an action star, but as an actor. As a fucking actor, he's horrendous. Like, no, or not horrendous. Sorry, pardon me. I'm being hyperbolic. I'm going to correct myself there. He is perfectly serviceable in his role.
Perfectly serviceable.
But you put anybody else in those roles, they would have been put a younger Liam Neeson in his fucking roles as no, a younger Liam Neeson, I probably think would have done a better fucking not Han Solo, but
he couldn't pull off Qui-Gon.
Indiana Jones.
He couldn't pull off Qui-Gon Jinn. He's gonna pull off Han Solo.
What do you mean he couldn't pull off Qui-Gon Jinn? What's wrong with his Qui-Gon Jinn?
Liam Neeson could have pulled that off. He got the charisma to do
it. Liam Neeson was sleepwalking through that role.
No, I'm sorry. This guy is just honestly, I just think there are much, much better actors who could have taken on his role. Kurt Russell could have done everything he did in his career better. Every single fucking role Harrison Ford has ever done, put Kurt Russell in it, and it would have been a better fucking movie. Han Solo would have been better as Kurt Russell.
No,
Straight up facts.
No.
Watching stuff like Big Trouble in Little China, watching stuff like his stuff, like all Kurt Russell stuff. You just watch that and you think of the characteristics of Han Solo, and he would have brought that character out better. I'm sorry, he's not that fucking great. He really isn't. And as he's got older, he's got worse. Like now,
I'm not arguing that he's gotten worse.
He can't even act. And his best movie, once again, was probably to me was The Fugitive, and that movie, and actually Working Girls, I don't mind that, but The Fugitive, and essentially he got acted off the screen by fucking Tommy Lee Jones. Tommy Lee Jones was the reason to watch that movie. So I'm calling it as I see it. He's not a bad actor, not a terrible actor. He's kind of George Clooney-esque. That's how I'd put it. Same.
I mean, look, I can see why
every single time.
Never mind, I can see why you say he's overrated, but he's still a good actor. So I can see why you say he's overrated. Overrated doesn't mean you're bad, though.
Yeah, no, it
That's
doesn't.
overrated does not mean you're bad.
Overrated. Okay.
AMBW
is overrated.
Like Kendrick Lamar.
All right, go on. We'll go K-Dots then, AMBW, since you've started.
AMBW can go. I can wait. Play AMBW. I can wait.
No, go. Okay, go on.
Okay. Like I said on the other stream, and I can remember it, but I think Harrison Ford as an action star is trash because I just don't. I think Harrison Ford got lucky. He got lucky because originally he wasn't even supposed to be Han Solo. Richard Dreyfuss was, and then he got sick.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
So it was just through luck. You know what I mean? It's just, yeah. I don't know. To me, Harrison Ford's more of a movie star. He's not really an action star. So I mean, I like the movies, and I like him as an actor, but he's not an action star. So I say trash.
Or not an action.
Yeah, not an action star. There you go.
Oh no, just put him in trash.
No.
I'll get rid of a movie. I'll put Timothy Dalton in trash. I'll put Timothy Dalton in trash. If you just put Harrison Ford in trash, please. No, I'm joking. God. So you're saying not an action star?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. So that doesn't really. I mean, unless you kind of put him in something, that doesn't really count. Like as a vote, you're just. It depends. If there's more not an action star, then I'll put him in not an action star. So K-Dots.
I mean, he was in the original Blade Runner. Action film, sci-fi, technically. So all the Star Wars
Blade
movies.
Runner's overrated as shit, bro.
Listen. I can kind of agree with AMBW when he says he is more of a movie star, though. Like, has a presence as a movie star just in general. Because, like, come on. He did Cowboys and Aliens 2011. I forgot he was in that abomination of a film, which I kind of like. It's a guilty pleasure.
Okay, then. So you trash it and then you go, I liked it.
I would say, I mean, he's overrated, yeah, but, he is he's an action
Just
star.
say he's overrated. He's overrated.
Yeah, he's overrated to me, but he is an action star. He's overrated, but he is an action star.
Okay,
he's not bad, though. Overrated doesn't mean bad. Let me make that clear. He doesn't mean he's bad. He is overrated.
No, I think, again, George Clooney, that's the kind of actor I like. George Clooney isn't bad. Overrated. George Clooney is overrated. Okay. Are you trying to tell me George Clooney isn't overrated?
Yeah, George Clooney is overrated.
Right, exactly. And he does that because he's the same guy in every fucking role. And the guy that he is in every role isn't like somebody who's even that cool or that you like. It's like maybe something for the ladies or something. I don't know. Maybe chicks dig it or whatever. But I don't fucking get. Like, when I see someone like Kurt Russell or Arnold Schwarzenegger or, certain other action stars, I want to be there. You know what I mean? Timothy Dalton, even. Like, there's parts of it where I'm like, that guy's smooth. I want to be like that. Harrison Ford, I don't feel that.
I'll say this. I'm just like, in action films, Harrison Ford to me had like, you know, he's the guy who had like some of the best one-liners and stuff, very charismatic and stuff, very suave type of stuff. You know, like Han Solo, Indiana Jones, and everything. Like when I look at him, I don't look at him. I look at, you know, someone like Jet Li if we're talking like action movies and stuff. You know, because let's be real, all these action movies, there's levels to these action movies. You have your action movies that are like, you know, kind of got the spectacle, like big explosions and stuff and gunfire and all that stuff. Then you got your action movies that just, you know, straight up martial arts and fighters and stuff, hand-to-hand stuff, like Jean-Claude Van Damme type of movies. To me, those are more action movies than I like Harrison Ford, but you know, he's an action star for a certain set of action movies that they do. Like he has some of the best one-liners and stuff, and some of these action movies he is part of. He does have a big presence on the screen, even in Star Wars. Even though, yeah, he's not the main character, Han Solo had a big ass fucking presence though with him playing Han Solo.
All right,
you know,
we've got to move on to the next one, dude.
One of the favorites in the movie.
Yeah, we've got to move on to the next one. Jaded, go.
He's good.
All right, so he's an overrated. Any reasons? Quickly. No, but it's 3 overrated, like basically, or like one.
No,
saying he's not even an action star.
No, AMBW put him as not an action
star.
He's like the Lion King.
Overrated versus
like
one good.
He's like overrated. He's good because he's been in a bunch of action movies, but there are way too many other action actors that are way above him. Because again, he's a great actor and he's been in some great movies.
Why'd you say he's a great actor? What do you mean by great actor? Is Keanu Reeves a great actor?
No.
Okay, so what makes Harrison Ford exactly a great actor?
Keanu Reeves is good.
He can carry a movie. He can carry a movie.
So can George Clooney.
No, George Clooney can't carry a movie.
Fuck you, he can't carry a movie. How can't
Name me a movie he can carry. Name me a movie he carried.
George Clooney carried From Dusk Till Dawn.
No, he didn't. He didn't carry it. He needed. What was his brother's name? The director.
He did carry that movie, Jaded. Let's be real.
He didn't carry that movie because
From Dusk Till Dawn. He was the best. After his brother died, he was the best character.
The director, the brother.
Yeah, exactly. He was good.
We want that movie was in 2 halves. First it was a Quentin Tarantino movie, and then it was a hokey dumbass vampire movie. I wanted more of that first half.
What about Three Kings?
Where it was a serious psychological thriller.
Yeah, that was cool. That first half was good.
That first half was way better than that second half.
But even in the second half, George Clooney.
It was a corny movie.
It wasn't.
What about Three Kings?
Yeah, it was corny in the second half.
He carried on his own. He had that rapper. He had the rapper, and he had what's his name helping him. He doesn't. He cannot carry a movie. He has never carried a movie.
Jaded. He was better than he was. Better than that Preacher's Son, the daughter. The second best person.
No, he wasn't better than the Preacher's son. He wasn't better than the Preacher. Don't.
No, I'm talking about the Preacher's son. The Preacher died.
You're talking about the great fucking what's his name?
Harvey Keitel.
The Preacher was just there, man. Don't get overboard. George Clooney had a bigger presence in that second half. He really took over the screen.
Yes, but he never carried a movie.
All right,
Harrison Ford has carried multiple movies.
I can tell you now. I'm gonna have to do a part 2 to this because this is not. It's not possible for me to finish this in time. But I have some time to go on. So, but we're gonna have to be a little bit quicker on these. So you're saying Harrison Ford is good. It's 2 overrated versus one good. I think that puts him cleanly in overrated. So that was a big upset. Who is this guy again? I know him, and I'm just like, I know
looks like a bootleg.
Charles Bronson.
Charles
Bronson.
Exactly.
I've never seen one of his movies. I'm
Death
going to be
Wish? You've
honest.
never seen Death Wish?
Nope.
I
He
never
was
seen
in a bunch of. He was in a bunch of westerns. He was in.
I
Death
know
Wish.
he's. Oh wait, I have seen him in a western. He's in.
Once
He's
Upon a
not
Time in
in
the
the
West.
Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. He's
No,
No.
he wasn't in the Good, the Bad, and
Once
the
Upon a Time in the West,
Mhm.
which
Once
is
Upon a Time
excellent.
in the West. Yes.
He's
Yeah.
got to. He's all the way to the top.
Really?
Yep.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
I'll go with you, MBW, for now. So
He was.
you're going God tier.
Wasn't he in Film 1, 2, 3?
No.
The original?
Let me see if I've seen any of his
Oh
movies.
no,
'cause
that
I
was
might
different.
have.
That was the other guy.
Dude, he was like the Clint Eastwood before Clint Eastwood.
Yeah.
I remember him as the good Clint Eastwood, like the Clint Eastwood who was actually.
Clint
Oh
Eastwood.
my God, Clint Eastwood.
Bro, Clint
I
Eastwood.
don't like Clint Eastwood, dude. I'm
You don't
sorry.
like Clint Eastwood. You don't like Clint Eastwood.
He fell off.
Unforgiven. Let me guess. Unforgiven was incredibly overrated too, right?
No, I think he's overrated as an actor. It's the same thing as Harrison Ford in some kind of ways. He's a little bit better than Harrison Ford. I'll give him that as an action star, like because he
The
just has a
grumpy.
little bit
He's the
of a better
the
charisma.
grumpy, he's the grumpy
but
man
like,
of cinema.
yeah, but I mean, I like the good, the bad, and the ugly. For instance. But yeah, as far as Bronson is concerned, I haven't watched any of his movies apart
I've
from
seen a
the.
few.
It seems the what was it? The westerns, the spaghetti western that we just said. Once Upon a Time in America.
Once Upon a Time in the West.
In the West, pardon me. Which is fantastic. It's a fucking phenomenal movie. But yeah, so AMBW, you were saying he's got tier, and yeah, okay. Any movies you recommend of his that I should watch?
Death Wish 1 through 4.
Okay.
And Once Upon a Time in the West. Well, you saw that, but you should rewatch it. It's great. It's great.
Oh, it's fantastic. Yeah, I love that movie.
Charlie.
K-Dots.
I can't remember any movies he was in. I've probably seen movies he was in, but I can't recognize or remember him. Unless
I can't vote. Skip me. I can't vote.
Yeah. Okay. Jaded.
The Good, the Badasses, and the Ugly.
Okay, so that leaves him in kind of man god territory.
Low tier man god.
Low
I'm
man
looking
god.
at these movies. I don't recognize none of these that he did.
Yeah. All right, so is it Chow Yun Fat?
Chow Yun Fat.
This guy's going in god tier, isn't he?
Damn right.
I've only seen a couple of his movies, but man, they're fucking good. I think he was the one who made the also that one that I really liked.
His movies are what make Chow Yun.
Well, obviously he did the what's it, the dragon one.
I forget the trilogy he did, but he was basically what put John Woo on the map.
Yep.
So Chow Yun Fat.
The only role of his that I didn't like was that Pirates of the Caribbean movie he was in.
Yeah, he was also Master Russian.
So Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, I love. The Killer was fucking amazing.
Killer, that trilogy was great.
I really like that. And he's just got a real good action presence.
He also did
as well.
Bulletproof Monk, Nerd Man. If you've seen that, he was in Bulletproof.
He did what?
He did Bulletproof Monk.
Yeah, Bulletproof Monk. He wasn't that great. That wasn't that great, but
that was the one I've seen. I love this movie, City on Fire, of his, which was the one that Quentin Tarantino basically ripped off. Man, this guy's fucking amazing, and he's just got like a real. He's kind of like an indie mix between an indie action, an indie star, an action star, and a martial arts star all in one. So yeah, I really like him. Yeah.
If you had to compare him like Nerdman, if you had to compare him like Jet Li or Jackie Chan, he's indie compared to them.
Yeah, no, definitely. AMBW, where are you putting this guy?
Man God, because he's one of the pioneers of Hong Kong action cinema, which influenced Western cinema. So, yeah, he's a classic, man. He's an OG.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay. K-Dots, keep the conversation. Keep the conversation going. I'm going to be back in 1 second.
keep him in Man God. He's still a pioneer. Pioneers, whether you think someone did surpass them, they're still fucking pioneers. So Man God. He can go in either the first or second tier for me, but Man God. Jaded.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Man God too, because the Killer. We had a running joke. I had a running joke with my brothers that we used to watch Killer as a Christmas movie.
I mean, he's older now. He's like in his 70s. Yeah, but yeah.
I mean, he basically you brought other than Jackie Chan, which brought the martial arts movie to the American audiences. He brought the action. He brought the Chinese action movie to the American audience.
Yeah.
I haven't, even for me, I haven't really like explored his films and franchises after Dragon Ball Evolution and stuff. That was
He was in Dragon Ball Evolution.
Was he?
Yeah, he was Master Roshi.
Oh, I didn't know that. I never saw the movie.
He was the best part about that movie, but sometimes these bad films do be hurting these people's career, and they make people they make you forget about them in a sense. And you just kind of like go off to a new thing, All
right, guys, let's move on to the next one anyway. Yeah, I get it. Like, but did everyone put him in God tier or what?
Yeah,
man.
All right, cool. Right. So let's go on to the next one. Who the fuck is that? I'm gonna put I'm gonna go this guy. Nicolas Cage. I don't give a shit what anybody says about the fucking
You never
Cage.
do.
I don't give a shit what anyone says about the Cage. I think he's a fucking man god. Straight up fucking look, dude, I'm gonna pull up Nicolas Cage movies, and yes, he is terrible when he's terrible. And he takes a ton of chances as an actor. And some of those chances he takes, don't fucking, they don't work.
Yeah,
but when they work,
when
they work, they are exceptional. Face Off is amazing. It goes back to one of those classic 80s action movie fucking concepts that you get a fat guy and a skinny guy and they change faces and yet they morph into each other physically and everyone's fooled by them. I fucking love that movie. I fucking love Con Air. He's fucking, what he did in Kick-Ass is amazing as well. Where he did this Adam West, like only Nick Cage would have thought of that.
Don't forget that, Nerdman.
In The Rock, dude, he's done a ton of bad movies. I'm not gonna fucking lie. I mean, and when he's awful, he is fucking god awful, the worst. I mean, if you were basing this on his bad movies and his bad performances, he should be below trash. They should make a new fucking level for Nick Cage. But when he's on, and when he's good, and when one of his choices, works out, he's fucking amazing. Nicolas Cage is great, and I'm not just talking in drama. You don't forget about Into the Spider-Verse as well. What he did with the noir Spider-Man as well. When he's good, he's fucking good, Nicolas Cage, and when he's bad, he's there's no defense. So if people put him in trash, I can completely understand, but I just wanted to make the case. He's also a good dramatic actor sometimes as well, like adaptations and stuff like that. But
he's very dramatic in Ghost Rider.
He's super dramatic in Ghost Rider. So if people put him in trash, I understand. So I'm gonna go Jaded first this time.
Good.
Okay.
Because he did the Ghost Rider movies. I'm not forgiving him for that.
Fair enough.
He was so over. I mean, not only that, what was it? You did the movie Driver?
No, he didn't do Driver.
The one where he had the car where he has to go to hell or something.
To hell?
Oh, that does sound like a Nick Cage movie.
I don't know. And the guy that was the accountant, I know. And the guy and the actor that played the accountant totally stole that movie from him. He literally the actor that played the accountant. I forget what the movie was. He was
Yeah, it's called Drive Angry.
Drive Angry. He did the movie Drive Angry, and the actor that played the accountant totally stole that movie from him.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's at least good.
Yeah. All right. K Dots.
I'll put him in good. Like I say, he's
You motherfuckers.
I've seen his action films and stuff, and they're okay. I mean, they're okay.
What do you mean, Con Air?
It was
Yes,
cool.
but
It
he
was
also
cool.
did Ghost Rider, so I got to balance it out.
And look,
What
me,
about fucking Kick-Ass?
I
Kick-Ass,
loved
man.
him. I loved him in Kick-Ass and stuff. But like, his acting, it's his acting where you're like, he's very up and down and stuff. He's not that consistent. He's not that consistent when it comes to his acting and stuff. He's good. He has some good action movies, but like he's not consistent when it comes to his acting in these action movies. Like, one action movie he can be great, and another he can be He's up and down a lot. I like Nicolas Cage, but he's up and down. Too much for me.
He also named his fucking son Kal-El. So for that alone, I have to respect the man. AMBW.
He's not an action. He's not an action star.
Oh, you don't think so?
No.
Oh, okay.
Wait a second. He's been in loads of action movies in the 90s. What are you talking about? Like, he mainly does action movies, if anything.
Really? No. He did 3 really good ones. I'm not going to lie. He did 3 really good ones, The Rock, Con Air, and Face Off. So those can't be denied. But at the same time, overall, he's not an action star. It's the same thing. Same thing with Harrison Ford.
Fair enough. I'll take it. So I guess that leaves him in good then. Poor Nicolas Cage, man. I think he's done some good work, which is unfortunately undone by his fucking awful performances. They really are dreadful, like his bad ones. All right, so I'm gonna go to this guy. Fucking hell, man. I need to get all the names of these guys.
Why? Oh my God! All he did was Roadhouse, and you're gonna put him as an action.
Jean Reno. I will go not an action star, but like for the action movies he has done, he is god tier. But I'm gonna go not an action star. Jean Reno.
I disagree.
Next.
I would put him in god tier.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna put him in god tier as well. Because, but yeah, go on. Tell us why. I've only seen a few of his action movies, but go on.
I only need to see one to put him in that category, and that is The Professional, which is one of the greatest movies of all fucking time.
Yeah,
so,
and he's amazing in it. Yeah, you're right. I mean, and then he's got that driving one as well. Like, there's a really good one. I can't remember the fucking name of it right now, top of my head, but like he's just like it's like it was like kind of a low tech Fast and Furious, basically. But yeah. Anyway, it's a good movie. K Dots. Okay, Jaden.
Good.
Good. Okay.
Yeah, because he was in the I mean, if this was a ranking for badasses, because the way he portrays Leon and he was the cleaner in La Femme Nikita. Because I remember the one scene in La Femme Nikita where he's outside in his car and the security guard is out there saying you have to move. He just lowers the window, pulls the gun out, shoots him, and then just raises the window again. It doesn't say a word. He's a great badass, but he's not that much of an action star.
Yeah, that's my feeling of it. Like every time I've seen him, he's been really good, but I haven't seen him in a lot of action movies. I think he's in a lot of French ones, though. I think there's like, subgenre of French action movies that he's in, but I just haven't seen them, and I'm not going to pretend like I'm some hipster who's seen all like his movies. But Leon, dude, he's fucking god tier for Leon, man. what a great performance. Both him and Natalie Portman knocked it out of the park in that movie.
And it was also in Godzilla too, so or Godzilla
Yeah.
1999. So
Yeah. Helen Ripley. I don't know this guy. I don't know this guy at all.
It's not worth it.
Helen Ripley herself.
Sigourney
Not an
Weaver.
action star.
What?
Not an action star.
she's not an action
In my
star.
opinion. No,
No.
the first one isn't even an action movie. Alien, the first one isn't even an
She
action
wasn't
movie.
an
Even
action
if
star,
you,
was an alien.
even, huh? Sorry.
Other than Aliens, what other action-based movie was she in?
But that's the same thing though.
Avatar.
But Aliens is always brought up in every single film conversation ever. Like it's almost on the same level as A Professional. Like if you're gonna put,
It's a great movie, but she's not an action star.
No, but that's what. No, sorry, no. It's just everyone always includes her in it, and like for good reason. It's an iconic performance.
Yeah, it is. But one movie does not an action.
The Professional.
One movie.
Yeah, then Timothy Dalton, and then we have to redo Timothy Dalton.
Oh no! Keep his ass down there. No, hold on, don't.
So there you go.
If you're gonna give Ripley action star status, then yeah, I would have to go with Nerdman. You're gonna have to give Timothy Dalton it too.
Forget it. Never mind.
Never mind. He's still willing to argue it anymore. All right. K. Dot still isn't here. All right. Great. Roger Moore. For me, simply put, the best Bond before Daniel Craig. In my fucking opinion. I'm sorry, I know a lot of people shit on fucking on Roger Moore, but he's my James Bond. Always will be. No one did it better, in my opinion. He got the camp and the cheese of this character, and he pulled off the one-liners like a great action star. Was his actual fighting the best? No. But he had swag, dude. The guy had fucking straight up swag about him. And yes, he stayed in the Bond role for way, 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 way too long. And that hurt his thing. If he had have just made like a few, The Spy Who Loved Me, The Man with the Golden Gun, those ones, then I think he would have been looked at much more favorably than he is these days. But like, I fucking love him as Bond. Maybe you might call it nostalgia, but I enjoy his Bond movies more than most. So there you go. That's my vote. I'm putting him in Man God. AMBW?
He's not an action star.
Okay, not an action star. There you go. He made a lot of Bond movies, though, man. It's not like just he made like two. He made a lot of them. So and they are action movies.
Well, so fat people eat a lot of food. Doesn't make them food connoisseurs.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, Jaden.
Okay, Roger Moore's best Bond portrayal was in the Cannonball Run movie. He's not an action star.
Okay, not an action star. Okay, let's go on.
Not even a James Bond.
He's fucking amazing as James Bond. Shut your whore mouth. I should fucking Phantom Zone your ass for that shit. All right.
Phantom Zoning.
I don't have time to suppress these lies. Fucking Sean Connery. Do you know what? I think he's a terrible Bond. I don't believe Bond is Scottish. I think he's completely fucking overrated as Bond. But as an action star, not bad. He's all right. He's had a few good action movies outside of the Bond franchise, and he does pretty well in them. I even liked his the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, which people don't like that much. Sean Connery, I'll just put him in overrated. Next.
Yeah, I agree. Overrated.
Yeah. Any reasons or?
I mean, he has made some really good action movies, but like The Rock and all that stuff. But yeah, I mean, just in general, I think he's overrated. So, overrated.
Fair enough. And Jaded.
Good.
Okay, leaves him in overrated. Any reasons?
Well, yeah, is James Bond, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, The Rock. He was in Highlander, so just him being in Highlander already puts him in
Let
a
me
high.
ask you a question though. Do you think he's as good as Roger Moore?
No,
As
because
James
I
Bond?
wouldn't say as good because they're two different takes on the same character. Because the problem
Yeah.
with Roger Moore is that he ended up I forget which movie it was. Was it Octopussy where he goes into space? And
No,
the problem was
that's not Octopussy.
I
Octopussy's
Moonraker.
actually not as bad as
the
people
one where he goes
remember.
into space.
Moonraker.
Yeah, that Moonraker. But
Moonraker. The problem I had with Moonraker is because since Star Wars was so popular, they had to try and make a space type James Bond, and they were making the gadgets be overrated and stuff like that, and it was just it was more gimmicky. And whereas Sean Connery's James Bond wasn't about the gimmick, it was about the character and the suaveness and the stuff like that. So it's two very different James Bonds.
okay. All right. Look, guys, I'm gonna do two more rankings, then I have to go. But we're gonna do a part two to this, and I hope you'll join me on the part two. Um, but we're gonna do two more, guys. So I think we should do um, Wesley Snipes and Russell Crowe.
Crow is not an action star.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, we can do that. That's fine if you don't see him as an action star. So we'll save some of the good ones for the second part two. So
If
we're
we
gonna
if
go.
we do Dwayne Johnson, if just letting you know now, if we do Dwayne Johnson, trash.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
why don't you
Wow.
save your opinions for Dwayne Johnson for the next one? So let's do Russell Crowe first. Russell Crowe, I'm gonna put in actually quite good. He's not really an action star necessarily, but he's made some really great action movies. And he's fantastic in those action movies. And Gladiator, man, he's fucking god. Like it's kind of like Leon. Like I like what Joaquin Phoenix more in Gladiator. I think that's the reason I go back to Gladiator more is because of Joaquin Phoenix's performance. But he's damn good in it as well. I fucking like him as well in that movie. And he carries it really, really well, even though he's got an amazing, compelling villain to help him out. He carries that movie, and it does not work without him and his performance in it. Plus, he's done some other action movies that are quite good, and he's a fantastic actor. So I'm going to put him in good, Russell Crowe, the action movies. I go AMBW.
He's not an action star.
Not an action star. Fair enough. Anything else you want to say about Russell Crowe in general as a actor in Gladiator, for instance? Do you like Gladiator? Do you like his performance?
Yeah, no, he's a great actor. He's a very 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 good actor, but he's just not an action star.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Jaded.
Yeah, same thing. He's not an action star.
All right, that puts him in not an
Tom
action
Hardy's
star.
been in more action movies than he's been in.
That puts him in not an action star then. He is a good, more dramatic actor. He's a really good dramatic actor. But I mean, that Gladiator movie though, bro. I love that movie. If I see it, huh?
I wasn't as big a fan of Gladiator as everybody else.
Oh, all right, fair enough. All right, so then we're going Wesley Snipes, and then we probably have time for one more. And I'm gonna do one that I'm gonna end with some controversy here. So Wesley Snipes, I'm putting in fucking God tier. Blade alone, man, God tier. Then you've got Demolition Man. Then you've got like a couple of other like ones that he did around that time. I actually really liked the sequel to fucking The Fugitive. The one he did that was a
Oh
sequel to
yeah,
The
yeah, yeah.
Fugitive. I liked him in it. I thought he was more compelling than Harrison Ford as a kind of to have that back and forth between him and Tommy Lee Jones was actually a little bit more interesting than with Harrison Ford. Although that was one of Harrison Ford's best performances, and that was really good. He did his thing in that movie, but Tommy Lee Jones carried that movie for me. In the sequel, I think it was both of
All right,
them.
I'm back.
They had like more of an equal presence. So yeah, I've got him in God tier, man. Blade, he's the man.
Oh wait. Oh, Wesley Snipes. Oh shit, man,
Yeah,
God,
you all right? Go on, K Dots. What are you gonna say about?
this dude Wesley Snipes is a fucking man, God. Fuck the IRS for doing what they did to him, hurting his
And
career.
paying taxes.
Fucking bastards. If Wesley Snipes, I'm telling no, hear me out. If Wesley Snipes never went to prison and had his career like postponed for so many years and he got delayed and pushed back, he would have been one of the biggest action stars today.
Yeah.
Right now, he would have been one of the biggest action stars. And
He was sexy as well. He was sexy. I like.
Also a great actor too. This is the difference, right? I like people like Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone, but what he has over them, he's a better fucking actor. Period.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wesley Snipes a fucking man guy, bro. Passenger 57. This dude defeated the man who took 3 nut shots and defeated him on a plane, bro.
Yeah. I forgot about that one. That one's good as well. Yeah.
Not even Thanos could defeat that man.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, okay.
And Wesley Snipes did that. Jada, that man took 3 nut shots and didn't fall off the plane yet. That man is OP.
Okay.
All right, AMBW, man. What do you have to say about Wesley?
Here's what I have to say about Wesley. Hang on. Let me know if you can hear this.
You ever play roulette? On occasion.
I knew it.
Nice. Always bet on black.
Man, fucking God. All the fucking way, man. Fucking God, dude. Hell yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I have to say, looking at the man gods, I'd put him in top. I guess you guys will put him after after Sylvester Stallone, right?
Nah, he's ahead of Stallone for me. Better actor. You gotta actually understand what the fuck he's saying.
Okay.
I like Sylvester Stallone, but Wesley has the best of everything: the looks, the skills. He actually does his own stunts too. He trains and put himself through that stuff. I'm not saying Stallone and them don't train, but he has all the qualifications. But you know, when he went to jail, that hurt his career. It literally hurt his career.
Yeah,
it hurt his career. It pushed him back.
Fair enough. All right, so we've got Wesley Snipes in God tier at number 1. Anybody think Sylvester Stallone's better than Wesley?
I mean, hard to say, but I think Wesley Snipes is underrated as like as far as like being in the same league as Sylvester Stallone, because he is a '90s action star. Like he's an actor, he can act, but he's also a '90s action star, and people forget that. So,
Jaded, you got
the good, the badasses, and the ugly.
Oh, right, you've got him.
That's still a good tier too. See, JD knows what's up. We all know what's up with Wesley.
All right, so that puts him behind Sylvester Stallone, then I think. And you've got like him in God tier.
No, I have him.
Sorry, you've got a good, but why?
Well, because he's black, and I'm not gonna have a black guy above any of the white guys. Come on.
Oh wow, wow! This propaganda, guys.
This is why he
Propaganda.
loves the Rocky franchise.
No, the real
This is
reason.
why he loves the Rocky franchise. Everyone knows goddamn well.
Hey, I'm Italian. I have to
Everyone
support
knows
Italian.
goddamn well those two black guys
No,
would have beat him
the
up,
real-
and
the
that
real
Russian guy
reason-
would have killed him. That
The
Russian
real
guy,
reason-
if the Russian guy killed the black guy, the Russian guy would have killed him as well. Let's not fucking lie.
The real
Anyway.
reason being is because Wesley Snipes is more of a badass for me than he is an action star. He could be in any movie, not do any action scenes whatsoever, and he's still a badass. He just has that great presence.
Yeah.
So to me, he's more of a badass than he is an action star.
Yeah. Well, he is good in his dramatic roles as well. So,
Yeah, even in the dramatic roles, he's still a badass no matter what.
Should we finish off with Gina Carano and
Gina Carano, she barely got any fucking action movies. What the fuck?
Yeah,
Dolph Lundgren. Dolph
hot, though.
Lundgren.
Mel Gibson? Let's do Gina Carano
Yeah,
and
she's
Mel
hot now.
Gibson before we finish.
She's hot. She
Gina
is hot, I'll say that.
Carano is trash. I've seen one movie with her, and it
Who is
was so
she?
goddamn awful. I will never watch another thing with Gina Carano in it.
What was she?
Nerdman,
fucking-
Nerdman, what was it, that movie where she was trying to act sexy and stuff and fought those dudes in a strip club or something?
No,
is that
it
the
was
one you
some
saw?
action. It was some action movie thing. Like I was just like, oh, let me see what this Gina Carano person's all about. It was my first introduction to her, and I just saw her. And I was just like, this is trash, bro. Like, she can't act, she can't fight, she can't do anything. Like, I'm sure she can fight in real life. I'm not saying she can't fight in real life. I'm saying fight in terms of making it work on the screen.
Oh, okay.
It just didn't work.
What was she in?
I'll tell you what it was. Just
Yeah,
give me a second.
She's in the
I'll tell you what
Mandalorian.
it was.
Oh, is she the chick from The Mandalorian?
Yep.
Oh, okay, yeah. I don't care. Gosh.
She's fine as hell, though. God
I
damn.
don't care. We're not rating on how hot she is.
Dude, hey,
I know
Oh
AMBW's
my
she's
not
not
wrong,
fine.
bro.
We're on tier list.
Bro, when I saw her in Deadpool 1 and she started putting on more weight, like just more weight in other areas, man, she looked so much better. I know she was working out stuff and was a lot skinnier. When she put on more weight, man, she was so beautiful, man.
Oh, she's
Titties
a brick
and shit
house.
got
I'm not
big.
going to argue that, but
Those
again,
titties got big and stuff. Damn.
I think it was called Haywire.
Oh, yeah, that movie's trash. Holy shit.
That
Yeah.
shit was
Fuck that
garbage.
movie.
I just thought, no, man, that's my Gina Carano, exploration over after I saw that movie.
I mean, yeah, she's
the
trash.
director literally had to try and hide her acting in the film. I've never seen a director do so much to hide the main star's acting before. It was crazy. She just had no charisma.
the Resident Evil movies is more of an action star than she is.
Yeah. So, where have we got her? AMBW trash like me?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, she's trash. She hasn't done anything actually decent, like movie-wise.
Yeah. All right. K-Dots.
She's sexy, but she's in trash. Keep her in trash. She sucks.
Okay.
Yep.
Michelle Rodriguez, the girl who played Letty from
She
Fast and
isn't
Furious.
sexy as well. I don't know what you're talking about. What's sexy
She's
about
sexy,
her?
nerd. What are you
She's
talking
alright.
about? She's
I
sexy
I
now.
was pissed. I was pissed.
Are you
I was
finished?
pissed.
Is she the girl that played that strong character in the Deadpool movie?
Yeah, Angel.
Okay,
does.
that woman was a brick house in that fucking movie. Okay, I don't know what you were thinking.
Man, me and Amy
But
don't know.
I'll tell you what. I remember exactly why now that I watched that movie, because everyone was fan casting her for Wonder Woman, and I was like, why do they want this big, beefy, meaty woman to be Wonder Woman? Like, do they even know the character? Like, it doesn't make any sense. And then I watched the movie, and I was like, holy shit, these people really have no fucking clue. I am so glad fans don't get to cast these movies because they have no fucking clue. As much as Hollywood doesn't have a clue, right? They still do better casting than most of the fans do. Fucking horrible. I'm sorry. Like, it's either like really obvious, uninteresting casting that fans do, or it's like just totally like wackadoodle.
They only
and
did it
stupid.
based off her body. That's why.
Yeah,
But even
that's
then,
it.
she doesn't have the ideal Wonder Woman body for me either. Like there's a Twitch streamer with Tourette's that would have been a better Wonder Woman than her.
Yeah.
She has the
Trash.
better ideal body than Gina Carano. I like Gina Carano.
It's not
But she
like Gal
could've carried
Gadot got the role because of her acting skills.
True, but like, I actually think Gal Gadot,
But
surprisingly, is actually a better
Gal
actress.
Gadot is a better actor than Gina Carano.
And that's crazy. To say that is crazy, but
Gal
I think
Gadot's
she
nothing
is.
great either, but she's better than Gina. Trust me.
All right, and last we're gonna finish. This is gonna be part one. We're gonna do part two on Monday. We'll do part two. Definitely. So like, I'll schedule it. If any of you guys can join, that would be great. AMBW, I'd love you to join because this is your like idea. So,
Depends.
but we're gonna finish off. We're gonna finish off with Mel Gibson here. Mel Gibson, I'm putting once again. I feel like putting him in trash so that he doesn't go up to God tier, because I feel like you guys are gonna move him up to God tier. But I'm just gonna put him in fucking overrated. Because he's not a terrible actor again. Much like Harrison Ford, it's not like I see him and I'm like, like it was terrible and I didn't believe the character or something like that. I believe him when he's acting. I just don't think he's got a hell of a lot of charisma that personally works for me, and he doesn't have a huge amount of range. So for me, as an actor, you've either got to have a huge amount of range or you've got to have a huge amount of personality, and he has neither. That is attractive to me.
Arnold Schwarzenegger has range.
What did I just say? Do you listen to what I'm saying, Jaded, or you just react? I said you either have to have a huge amount of personality or a huge amount of range.
Oh, so you think Arnold
Schwarzenegger
has
a huge amount of personality?
Oh,
yes.
okay.
Yes, he does. So yeah, like he just doesn't register for me. I'm not going to put him in trash because I don't think he is absolute trash. If I was in written a movie and Mel Gibson was cast in it, I'd be upset, but I wouldn't be devastated like some actors. Yeah, so that's it. Mel Gibson goes in overrated for me. I also really, really fucking don't like the Lethal Weapon movies, and I'll go into that later when we look at Danny Glover. AMBW.
Dude, he's a man god, man. I mean, like, first of all,
fuck! I should have put him in trash.
Weapon, dude. Holy fucking shit! Lethal Weapon, at least 1 through 3. 4 is not that great, but 1 through 3 is great. He's Mad Max. He's Martin fucking Riggs. He directed Passion of the Christ. He directed Apocalypto.
Oh no, his directing's amazing. Apocalypto.
His director has nothing to do with Action Star.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
Apocalypto's amazing. Anyone who says anything else is crazy. Apocalypto's fucking the shit, dude. I love that movie.
Oh yeah, Apocalypto's tight.
Yeah, go on.
Listen, bro, Mel Gibson is one of the most talented people out there. So as an action star, that's kind of how he got his start, right? So, I mean, he was in the Mad Max movies. He's man god all the way.
All right, fair enough. All right, K-Dots.
Mel Gibson. I love all the Lethal Weapon movies. I said this last stream, whatever stream we was on. The Mad Max film wasn't a huge fan of. I love them in Lethal Weapon movies. But mind you, Duncan action star. He's not really an action star to me, to be honest. But for the action movies he did, he's fucking great. Especially in Lethal Weapon. this dude had personality, and he was a good actor in that shit.
Okay, so what are you putting him in?
I'm gonna put him in good. I'm putting him in good because he didn't really do a lot of action movies like that.
All right, that moves him to good. All right,
He's in good for me. He's in the top 3 tiers.
Jaded.
The good, the badasses, and the ugly.
All right, that puts him in there. I don't see how this guy is over fucking this guy.
Nerdman, he's Riggs. He's Riggs.
No, but
because the ones that he's done were really, really damn good. That's why.
It wasn't mediocre.
I'll say this.
Name me other than Lethal Weapon 4, he hasn't really done any bad action movies.
Look, Nicolas Cage's best movies, like the ones that he's done, I think he's much better than fucking Mel Gibson even in the Lethal Weapon movies. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but I'm saying he has. Yeah, but Nick Cage has had bad action movies. Mel Gibson hasn't had bad action movies.
He does. Mel Gibson's got a bunch of
bad action movies.
Let's look at Mel Gibson movies. I'm going to look them up because I'm sure I've seen him in like bad movies.
Oh, I've seen him in bad movies too. But I'm saying,
and Braveheart's overrated.
Oh hell no!
Braveheart is overrated.
No. Oh.
All right, so you've got Lethal Weapon, Mad Max, What Women Want.
Yeah, but that's not
Signs is fucking horrible. The Patriot's horrible. Bloodfather.
I don't know
Batman,
that one.
Payback, Ransom.
Payback.
I've seen Ransom.
You know what? Wait a minute,
Nerdman.
I'm saying it now. Mel Gibson would have been a dope ass Batman too. Would have been a dope ass.
I like Payback. Payback was good.
You've got to be out of your fucking mind.
You want Mel Gibson as
Batman?
Who was supposed to play him?
Fucking crazy. I would have even
said Mel Gibson would have been Green Lantern as Bruce Wayne.
As Green Lantern. No, as Hal Jordan, he would have been good.
He would have been a good Hal Jordan, but
no, he's not a Batman. Are you fucking insane?
Batman, bro.
See, this is why I'm talking about fan castings, JD. Telling you, bro.
He would have been better than fucking Val Kilmer and George Clooney.
Yeah, but
Val Kilmer was a good Batman. Val Kilmer was actually a good Batman, so that's bullshit. All right.
He's the Batman everybody thinks is Michael Keaton.
Who have we got to? So, Jaded, did you give your vote? You gave Man God, and you didn't even say
no.
Or you said the good, the bad,
I say the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Did you give your reasons?
Yeah, because he's done a few action movies. He hasn't done as many action movies as other people on this list, but he's not done a bad action movie. So,
well, fair enough, guys. I've got to skedaddle pretty quickly, but I'll say this: so far, the list is looking kind of interesting. Like what we've got here so far.
This list
so I'm very, very much looking forward to finishing this list. I definitely will. How dare you put? By the way, where would you have ranked Roger Moore, K-Dots?
Roger Moore.
Yeah. James
Bond.
Oh, I couldn't rank him. I don't recognize any Roger Moore movies.
Yeah, because none of them are worth watching. None of them are worth watching.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of this dude's movies. I haven't even seen the James Bond movies. Yeah, no. I can't rank them.
Fair enough. All right, so yeah, looking forward to part 2. Guys, subscribe to all these guys' channels. Jaded Fanboy, as the name says. Also, as the name says, with K-Dots as well. And AMBW, is your name of your channel changed?
Yeah, I changed it because it was usually Asian men, black women. Now I changed it to Asian men XF, which stands for all women. So we cater to white women, Asian women, Latino women, black women, all kinds. So it's AMXF. That's what it stands for.
What do you mean? You cater to them, or
no? The channel does because I'm.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna say like, are you trying to say? Now I'm like, I'll have any woman, you know.
Yeah, all good.
I'll service anyone. Anyway, good. So yeah, please do subscribe to their channels if you haven't subscribed already. I do have to get to work really quickly, so I'm just going to say this: like, subscribe, share, comment. Love the comments. I always do respond to the comments, and apart from that, see you on the flip side. And I love you 3000. Peace.
Peace.
I love you 3000.